The book of Judith, chapter 6. When the noise of the crowds surrounding the council had subsided, Holofernes, the ranking general of the Assyrian forces, said to Achor in the presence of the whole throng of foreigners, of the Moabites, and of the Ammonite mercenaries, "Who are you, Achor and the mercenaries of Ephraim, to prophesy among us as you have done today, and to tell us not to fight against the people of Israel because their God shields them?" Who is God besides Nebuchadnezzar? He will send his force and destroy them from the face of the earth. Their God will not save them, but we, the servants of Nebuchadnezzar, will strike them down with one blow, for they will be unable to withstand the force of our cavalry. We will overwhelm them with it, and their mountains shall be drunk with their blood, and their plains filled with their corpses. Not a trace of them shall survive our attack. They will utterly perish, so says King Nebuchadnezzar, Lord of all the earth. For he has spoken, and his words will not be in vain. As for you, Achor, you Ammonite mercenary, for saying these things in a moment of perversity, you will not see my face after today until I have taken refuge on this people that came out of Egypt. Then at my return, the sword of my army or the spear of my attendants will pierce your sides, and you will fall among their wounded. My servants will now conduct you in the hill country and leave you at one of the cities beside the passes. You will not die until you are destroyed together with them. If you still harbor the hope that they will not be taken, then there is no need for you to be downcast. I have spoken, and not one of my words will fail to be fulfilled. Then Holofernes ordered the servants who were standing by his tent to seize Achor, conduct him to Bethulia, and hand him over to the Israelites. So the servants seized him and took him out of the camp into the plain. From the plain they led him up into the hill country until they reached the springs below Bethulia. When the men of the city saw them, they seized their weapons and ran out of the city to the top of the hill, and all the singers kept them from coming up by hurling stones at them. So taking cover below the hill, they bound Achor and left him lying at the foot of the hill. Then they returned to their lord, Achor in Bethulia. The Israelites came down from their city and found him, untied him, and brought him into Bethulia. They placed him before the rulers of the city, who in those days were Uzziah, son of Micah, of the tribe of Simeon, and Shibris, son of Gothoniel, and Sharmis, son of Milchiel. They then convened all of the elders of the city and all of their young men, as well as the women, gathered in haste at the place of assembly. They placed Achor in the center of the people, and Uzziah questioned him about what had happened. He replied by giving them an account of what was said in the council of Holofernes, and of all of his own words among the Assyrian rulers, and of all the boasting threats of Holofernes against the house of Israel. At this, the people fell prostrate and worshipped God, and they cried out, "Lord, God of heaven, look at their arrogance. Have mercy on our people in their abject state, and look with favor this day on the faces of those who are consecrated to you." Then they reassured Achor and praised him highly. Uzziah brought him from the place of assembly in his home, where he gave banquet for the elders. That whole night they called upon the God of Israel for help. The word of the Lord. Thanks be to God. God bless you.